Hello pilots, welcome back to Motion RC. I'm James and today we'll be talking about one of our 4 brand new RotorScale GPS stabilized, ready to fly 470 size scale helicopters. As you see before you, we're talking about the MD-500E in front of you, and it comes in this beautiful fiberglass fuselage with an awesome painted body in the Fresno County Sheriff livery, and it's absolutely gorgeous. What's awesome about these helicopters are, all 4 of them, they come out of the box pretty much ready to go. You have to do some minor detail work out of the box, like you're gonna, for this helicopter specifically, you'll be putting on the water slide decals, placing them on where you want to. You're gonna have to place some of the windows. 2 of the windows aren't pre-installed. Very easy to do out of the box, but for the most part, everything you're gonna need to fly an RC helicopter is included in this box. You get the charger you see before you here. You get a battery, which I have already in here. It's a 5200 milliamp 4S pack, and you get the transmitter on the side. Your manual is gonna come, you get a little QR code, which will take you to the manual via the website, and you get an actual book manual for the transmitter itself. But we're gonna go over a lot of that stuff here today in this video. So before we get started, let's talk about the features that all 4 of these helicopters share. So whether you find yourself wanting the MD-500E, the Airwolf, the UE, or the Bell 206, you're gonna find that all of them, again, come with excellent fuselage details. The fuselages have rivet detailing. Again, they're all fiberglass, absolutely beautiful, and they're painted immaculately. Each helicopter also comes with painted carbon fiber blades. This MD-500 has a really beautiful red, white, with yellow tips on top, but each one, again, is going to be painted to represent their scale counterpart for the heli they have. All of these helis have the advanced GPS stabilization. Anyone who has flown a GPS stabilized helicopter in the past is going to know how beautiful it is to fly in that way, especially a scale helicopter. It's very good for beginners to pick up on, but the beauty is each helicopter has 3 flight modes available to it. There's GPS mode, angle mode, and manual mode. So you can fly it as a GPS heli, or for you veterans to RC heli flying, you could switch it to manual mode and fly it however you already fly all your other RC helicopters. All these helicopters feature lights on them, which is awesome. Full navigational lights, which are scale. The MD-500E actually has some blinkers on the skids down at the bottom on the tips of the skids, red on one side, green on the other, and then they both have some red lights around them on the top and the bottom for the navigation. All scale, all look beautiful. And then the other feature, which is usually custom to all GPS stabilized helicopters, they do have a return to home and land feature. So it's a really beautiful thing, and you can see here with the B-roll, you basically flip the switch. Wherever you plugged in that helicopter and got your GPS signal, that helicopter is going to orientate itself in the same position it took off from and land basically within a few feet of its original position, which is, again, awesome, beautiful, takes the guesswork out of things, and can save your gorgeous helicopter. So now those are the features that each of the helicopters share. So regardless of the design you choose, whatever's right for you, you're going to get those features. But each helicopter offers its own sort of special function. If you would have seen maybe some of the other videos, the Bell 206 is a fire heli. It can drop water. The Airwolf has retracts on it, and this one actually comes with a searchlight. Again, it's a police heli, and that searchlight is able to be turned on and off via a switch on the transmitter, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But going around the heli, I just want to show you how simple, it is to get into this heli. Basically, the canopy on this heli just lifts right up and off. It's absolutely simple how to do it. And again, very easy when you have to install these windows. I used a little foam tack around the outside. You could use some CA, however you want. Obviously, just be careful. You don't want to get any glue onto the clear portions that's going to be shown. But again, very easy to do. I'm sorry I wasn't able to show you that on this video. These helis were sent to me a while back as a sample. We weren't sure if they were going to come pre-installed or not. I didn't get a chance to film that when I took this one out of the box, or I would have shown it to you, but it's very straightforward when you see it come out of the box. But again, your heli itself, the CG is basically pushing the battery on the stand as close to the middle as you can get. So just put that on and you're gonna have no problem with the battery that's included. And you can see here, again, this is a Roban 5200 milliamp pack, which is gonna be coming with it. And if you didn't already know, these RotorScale helicopters were created by Roban with us in conjunction with Motion RC to make our dream of having some large scale, ready to fly GPS stabilized RC helicopters. But you can see very easy functionality as far as you know, what's inside. You don't have to do much. Your GPS stabilizer and your receiver, everything is included on this top board, and it's very easy to see on every helicopter, easy access to it. You have easy access to all the parts for your head right here if you need to get into it. And then the body itself actually has just four screws, 2 down here and 2 up in the back, which you can remove. The entire electronics will slide right out of this pretty simply, just taking out those 4 screws. And obviously you'd have to take off the tail motor to do it. But again, the beautiful painted blades, they're gonna come out of the box, not assembled, but you do get an Allen key, and it's just 2 Allen keys. And when you set up your blades on any helicopter, you wanna get it to a point where if you hit it, it'll move, but it'll stick. You don't want it too flimsy and you don't want it too tight. You don't want to lock down the screws where you can't move the blade at all. You want it to a point where if I hit it, it'll sort of stop in place right when you let go of it, if that makes sense. And again, when you turn on your helicopter, you always want to have the blade straight before you spin up that rotor. Never start your helicopter like this, in this position, and let the blade swing out. That could break things because of all the force being generated once this starts going up. Your tail blade is going to be pre-installed as well, which is nice when you take it out of the box. And then this helicopter, the only other things I had to put on was a little glue for these tail fins and glue the top horizontal stabilizer on top. That came out of the box separately. So this part up top here in the back, I also had to glue on. And again, I used a little CA to get that on there. And it's been fine on all the flights I had. So now some things I want to talk about, again, if you're going to get this heli, so we could show some flying footage actually. Again, I never take this out of angle or manual mode. I am not a full scale heli pilot, RC pilot. I'm a little actually afraid to fly it normally because I'm afraid I would crash it. So I didn't want to do that. I'm not going to experiment with this heli, with this beautiful thing. I'll probably do it on a smaller option if I ever want to, you know, get into flying a heli the way they were normally flown, if you will. But I really enjoy flying this heli around and all these helis around in the GPS stabilized mode. Anyone who maybe ever flew one of those DJI drones, something like that, that's the feeling you get when you fly in a helicopter in GPS stabilized mode. It's that simple. Anyone who might have ever flown a DJI Inspire or a Phantom back in the day, that's how these fly, and it's great. I mean, very easy, responsive. I feel safe when I'm flying it, and you can really do some nice scale maneuvers, especially for like this police helicopter. It was very nice to sort of point the nose at you and go side to side or circle around. You could see when the spotlight's on as if you were searching for somebody or something, you know, in the wilderness. This would be the helicopter that's chasing, you know, the criminal down the highway, things like that. It was really cool to do that with this heli, and it's very easy to do in GPS stabilized mode. So now I'm gonna just turn this bad boy on here for a second and just go over some of the things you're gonna wanna know for your first time turning on your helicopter. So when you get your battery strap in, I always, you know, obviously you're gonna leave the canopy off. Put this on, at the very last thing you need to do is put back on your canopy because you wanna be able to see your GPS, because there's like a little light pattern on it that you'll want to see. And I'm gonna do it here at the table, but I also filmed it outside so we can show you this. But the startup procedure of this heli is crucial to making sure you just get it right. So your transmitter here, very easy to turn on. You push both power buttons on the left and right side, hold them together for about 2 seconds, and then you turn on. And right away on the screen, you'll see a lock feature. Don't worry about that, leave it locked, that's fine. But you can see at the top that it'll show your TX battery life, which is gonna be just 4 AA batteries in the back. So as long as you have, you know, fresh batteries, that'll be a full bar. And then right away, you'll see a question mark in the RX battery. That's because we haven't turned on the helicopter. Now, what I want to be imperative when you go to do this the first time, look at your top switches. If you turn on this transmitter and one of these switches are down, it'll let you know, and it won't fully start up until you flip all the switches up in the up position. So that's good, that's easy. But before you plug in the heli, what I want you guys all to do to make sure the GPS, you get it right, you're gonna turn this far left switch that says run or cut. We're gonna put that in the cut situation, cut position, if you will. So when I put it in the cut position, then I'm going to come here, plug in my heli. And now I'm indoors, downstairs. I would never be able to get GPS satellites in here, so I can't show you the light changing on this table. It's just gonna flash. You'll see it go from a dark blue to red. That's when it initializes. That means that we are bound to the heli. But since we're in the cut position, nothing's gonna happen. I'm up and down on the throttle, up and down on the the other stick, and nothing will move, which is fine, and that's normal. And then you'll see like a teal light. I'm a little colorblind, but it's like almost blue, almost green, and it'll flash like that without anything happening. That's it searching for your signal. When you're gonna wait. Now, sometimes, depending on your location, you might have to wait upwards of 5 minutes. Sometimes it only takes a minute, sometimes it takes seconds, but just stand back, watch the light. When that light starts flashing a regular green, a normal green, and just a light flash, that means you have your GPS satellites and you are ready to go. So now I'm not going to, start it up here, but at that point, you will hold down and right on your stick for about 3 or 4 seconds, and the flashing green light goes solid green. Now, when that goes solid green, all you have to do is flick your cut switch back to run, and your tail motor will start spooling immediately, and then the top blades will follow, and then you just wait a couple seconds till you hear the head speed get up to speed, and then all you have to do is press up on the throttle, and she's gonna lift off, and you are good to go and fly. But that's a crucial thing about the helis. Make sure you want this switch down to cut before you plug it in. If you leave it up at run, then it might not catch the satellites, it might not work properly. I like to, want to make sure you guys have it cut, and it's also a safety feature. Keep it cut whenever you're doing anything, because at the very end of your flight, you're always going to flip that switch to cut. Now, obviously, you don't want to flip the switch to cut during flight, because that's going to not be good. Helicopters don't glide very well, so you don't want to do that. But now that we're plugged in, and we're on the table, we're not armed, I don't even have satellites here, but I just wanted to show you. If I go to like angle or manual mode, if I'm in manual mode, then I'm able to at least see the head movements on the top of the heli. So that would let you know, you're in manual mode if you want to check that. Your transmitter on the far right side has an off and return to home. That's a switch. When you're ready to land the helicopter and you don't want to land it manually, you flick that switch. Your heli, regardless of where it is, it goes up. It's going to go straight up from where it is to, I believe, about 20 meters or so. And then from there, it's going to orientate itself in the same position it was when it took off. So remember, wherever you armed the helicopter, that is your home point, and that's where the helicopter will want to return to when you hit return to home. So remember, these are GPS stabilized helicopters. It does not mean they have obstacle avoidance. So if you armed your helicopter, say in your tent or under a tree or under a gazebo type thing at your field, you're at a park maybe, if you armed it there, then walked it out to your flying spot, were flying around, if you hit the return to home switch, it will return to the original location you armed it. So just make sure that you arm the helicopter before you fly it from the exact position you want it to land, just to be safe. So then the only other switch we have to talk about, so you have your run cut on the far left, you have GPS angle or manual mode on the middle right side. The far right side is off and return to home. Then your left one is, they have ACCY, it's like your accessory switch. That's on this helicopter, that's gonna turn on our spotlight that you can see at the bottom. On and off. You can turn that on and off as much as you want, so you can leave it on, leave it off. Now on the other helicopters, that will do the retracts on the Airwolf, that will do the water drop on the Bell 206. So that's a really cool feature that you have access to right off the bat. And all around, just absolutely phenomenal. A phenomenal addition. Now again, looking at the helicopter while it's plugged in, I don't know if you noticed, but the flashing light here, these are on the skids. These are your navigation lights. It's going to be green on the right side, red on the left. I hope you guys can see that. We have some better B-roll shots of it. I'm sure you're seeing that right now. And then on the back, you'll see a soft glow. It sort of grows and fades. Navigation light on the tail, and I believe there's one more navigation light. Yep, a flasher red light right under the fuselage. So there's 4 LED lights aside from the spotlight, that comes only on the MD-500. So then again, you have it all plugged in. Last thing you want to do, you'll put your canopy on, and you will be good to fly. And obviously the beauty of a heli like this, I know some guys will put things inside to scale it up a little more, get a guy, maybe a pilot in there, maybe do some work to make a full cockpit if you want to go really hard with your heli. But the fact that right now you have the ability, we've taken that success of the smaller 220s and the 150 GPS stabilized helicopters we've done, and now we scale that up to a nice 470 size. So hopefully in the future, we'll be getting to the little bigger size now that this GPS stability and stuff makes it makes access to helis a lot easier. So it's awesome, because now a lot of guys who never thought they would be able to get to an RC helicopter, because it is a little tricky to learn how to fly an RC helicopter coming from RC planes or RC cars or something. I always assumed it's one of the tougher things to learn. I'm sure once you learn it, it's very easy. But it's great that now you could start here and and then work your way up if you want to, and do it in a beautiful scale fashion, whether you want a military Huey or the TV-inspired Airwolf, or one of these service helicopters like the the Firebell 206 or this MD-500. You have access to those now, and we're excited to carry these. We're excited to bring these out. Again, since it's RotorScale, which is our brand, we are going to feature spare parts availability for as long as these are available. You shouldn't have trouble getting parts from us. And as always, guys, we're here to help you. So if you have any questions about this heli at all, leave them in the comment section down below. Wes and I both got 2 of each of these to do the 4 videos, so we're both pretty versed in them now. But leave a question down below. We'll try to answer it as best as possible. And as always, guys, all the links to all 4 helis are going to be in the description of this video, with this one being the top link. And then I'll have a link to all the videos. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. If you could hit the like button on your way out the door, that will help us out. We're getting really close to 100,000 subscribers now, and we're really excited to hit that number. So guys, that's going to do it for me here today. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time at Motion RC.